Hey, this is Kristen, Lamb of God. You're watching Rock and Metal News.
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News with a CD review of the new Megadeth album, Super Collider. Been a long-time Megadeth fan, seen them many times in concerts, and followed their career, basically from day one. Megadeth, they started off really heavy. They were a thrash band, and they, progressed over the years to become a little less thrashy. Maybe after Rust in Peace, kind of changed a bit in their career, and then they've had some ups and downs in their career, and I thought that Megadeth kind of was on a upswing, in the recent years, and really was looking forward to Super Collider, and was hoping that maybe they would put some of their past elements of Megadeth in, or kind of continue the aggression of Megadeth. Now, this album, I think, is almost on a downward slant for Megadeth. The album itself is almost like a hard rock album. There are parts on this that are almost just rock. One song almost has a pop feel to it, and they have more simple song structures than they obviously used to have. When you look back at Tornado of Souls and Hangar 18 and different songs like that, even back to Set the World Afire and things like that. Now, the album itself, I thought that there was a lot of blues-oriented guitar on this album. Kingmaker, it starts off with Kingmaker. That song there, it almost has like a Children of the Grave Sabbath kind of feel to it, where the way he, says the lyrics has almost like a Children of the Grave feel. One of the standout tracks on the album, Super Collider, the next song, it's hooky. Not too much else going on in it. It's got a hooky riff. Number 3 is Burn. It's kind of got a bluesy feel to it. Nothing too spectacular. I thought that Built for War, there was a part in there. It starts off really heavy, and I was like, oh, okay, this song is going to be good. It's short. I think a Megadeth song that starts off and is heavy like this one, I think, this is one of the 4 tracks that I kind of, stood out for me on the album, is Built for War. They maybe could have carried it a bit longer. It's sort of the old Megadeth maybe would have threw some twists and turns in it, but it's probably like a 3-minute, 20-second song. One of the heaviest on the album. Falling Off the Edge, nothing too spectacular in that song. I thought that the song Dance in the Rain had some cool parts in it, and there was actually parts in this that really gave me a shade of old Megadeth. Near the end of the song, David Draymond, I think, did a great, added some good vocals in there, and the way they mixed his vocals really added to the song, and they had some faster drum beats going over, almost like some old Megadeth. That was kind of like the highlight. There was about a minute and a half in there that I really liked in that song. Beginning of Sorrow had some nice bass at the beginning, but really didn't have too much of any kind of complex song structure in it. They have the Blackest Crow, which is kind of like a bluegrass song, maybe to add some kind of different flair to the album, or over to Megadeth as a whole. It was okay, but it didn't really, add any type of extra flair or any twists and turns in it. Forget to Remember, that was probably one of I thought one of the weakest songs on the album. It's just almost like a straight up type pop rock song. And Don't Turn Your Back, it actually starts kind of neat with a blues feel in it. It's got some heavy kick in that, but I thought the lyrics were a little kind of weak in it. Dave talks a lot about, don't do drugs and don't turn your back on people and things like that. Kind of, lessons about life probably that he's been through. And Cold Sweat was the last song on the album, and it was a Thin Lizzy cover. I thought they actually did a really good job on that. I mean, that's an old, 70s rock song, and they did a good job on it. Overall, I was actually, disappointed. The album is definitely listenable. You just put it on and, it's you can listen to it. It's not that bad of an album for that, but it's not. There's no real, Megadeth songs in here that are going to stand out in a couple of years. Really, on the tour they'll probably play a couple of the songs in it, but they probably fade out fairly soon, and as the years go on. But I was actually hoping that the Megadeth was still kind of going up on the rise. This one here just either hit a plateau or went a little bit down for me. I don't know if the listenability of this album is going to last too long. I do have, the 3 or 4 songs on the album that really kind of, stood out on this album for me, but never really stood out as a true good Megadeth song. So take a listen, and depends, I think, whether you like this album or not. A lot is going to be sort of when you were introduced to Megadeth. If you were introduced to Megadeth way back in their early, first 3-4 albums, you probably won't like it if, you're still into that kind of style. If you got introduced to Megadeth maybe in the later, and you're not really expecting a thrash album, kind of heavy, intricate song structures, you'll probably like it. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.